Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex. Let's finish up our uranium processing plant. I've set up these other two stations to bring in iron and uranium if and when the time comes. I suppose the uranium is not really necessary at this moment. I expect this to last a long time, maybe for the rest of the game. But anyway, it's there in case we need it. So iron will come up from here and up into these belts. I'll figure out what to do with that once we get to that part. For now, the first thing I need to do is start processing the uranium. So we're going to go into 5 centrifuges, 12 beacons each, and turn that into uranium-238 and uranium-235. So let's start with the beacons. Yeah, here we go. I'll just take half of those and a few stacks of modules. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but I did update the module factory. I don't remember if I put this on video. I updated the module factory to give me twice as many speed modules as productivity modules. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just taking an output from the RoboPort so I can see what's in the network. And then speed modules, the number of speed modules I'm dividing by 2. And the number of productivity modules I'm multiplying by 1, right? So it's always going to show, so we'll be comparing half as many speed modules to the number of productivity modules. And then I wired that to all the inserters, and then the conditions on the inserters haven't changed. They'll turn on when one is less than the other. Okay, but now we're cutting the speed module number by 2, so I'll get twice as many. Hope that makes sense. All right, so let's get here in the middle, which is right here. Okay, and we'll set up our beacons there. This is probably going to be a single column, so I could probably even just center it around that. Oops. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because I'm going to have... Well, I guess when we do the nuclear reprocessing, we'll probably have maybe a couple columns, since we'll need a lot more of those machines. But I'm only going to have 5 of these and 2 of the reprocessing ones. Okay, put that in the middle. Uranium processing. We'll just come up there. In and out. Now, how do I want to manage the input and the output? Let's look at how many belts I'm going to need. All right. Yeah, far less than a single belt. So I think what I'll do is I'll set this up so that, let me make a bunch of filter inserters. And I'll set this up so that they go on opposite sides of the belt. Okay, like this. Whoops. like that. All right, so we'll do 235 on the far side and 238 on the near side. And then we can just split them off at the end. And can we make this more compact? I believe we can. We might as well. There we go. All right, and I think that's all that we need for that. So let's make 5 of these, and then I will power them up. 3, 4, 5. Let's clear out some more trees. By the way, I'm recording this just a couple hours after I recorded the previous episode, so I haven't heard anybody's feedback about whether we keep the trees or not. So for now, I'm just going to leave most of them in place. All right. Then we just have to feed over the uranium. All right, and I think we'll find we're using less than a full blue belt. I think it's about 0.6 of a belt, something like that. Okay, and then this last one we can replace with a regular belt. And then first one replace with a regular belt. Let's throw in some lights. And let's give it some electricity. Oops. There we go. Very nice. Oh, and those should have productivity modules. Forgot about that. Okay. And then that should feed into 2 machines doing kovorix enrichment. Okay, so let's set that up next. That's not right, is it? All right. Had a few too many beacons. All right. Yeah, and then I think we can just take the output. No, we have to change that. Okay. Yeah, let's gonna have to modify this a little bit. Okay, so we'll take our input from there. At least to get started. And then for the output, I need stack filter inserters. Or at least one stack filter inserter. That's going to be 235. You know, this would be better if I switched the belts. All right, so I need to clear the belt now. So I'm going to pick it all up. Okay. All right, so let's set this to just pick up 238. Well, no, we need to pick up everything from this belt, don't we? No, we should only pick up 238 from this belt. That could just be a regular filter inserter. Okay, give me that back. All right, so we'll pick up 238 from this belt. We'll put 238 back in with that belt. And we'll put 235 back in as needed. And then all the rest of it can merge into this belt. Right, because this is a net consumer of 238 and a net producer of 235. I'm going to have to seed the machine with 235 to get it started, though. Okay. Okay, I'm going to need that extra space on these. Okay. Then I can copy that. Okay. And then I'll just have a single belt coming out. That'll give me all the uranium I need. Now I'm going to need to put this into storage. All right, so the next question becomes, how much storage do I want? Before I get there, though, let me go get some uranium 235 so I can seed those kovorix enrichment machines. I'll just go and steal some from my storage over there. And then for the iron plate to make the fuel cells, I think my next step, I'll make a single iron smelting array. I've already got some iron mining. So we'll make a single iron smelting array, and that way we'll have the iron plate that we need over there. Okay. Always look at the mini-map before you cross tracks. Alright, so I only need 80. There we go. And I think I'm going to add a passenger station over here too. I think I'm going to start doing that more often. Well, maybe not. I already got too much. Yeah, forget it. I don't need a passenger station. And I'm thinking that this time, I think I'm going to rotate my depots 90 degrees so that they enter from the right side. Or no, so that they enter from the left side and exit on the right side. I guess it doesn't matter which side. But if they enter on the side, then it's more likely that they can go straight up and then go in without having to make a 90-degree turn first. Although when they go there in the center on the top, then it would be equidistant to either side. So maybe that is better. No, I think it's better to exit on the side because all the entrances to my grids are on the sides. And all the exits are on the top and the bottom. But this way the grid entrance and exits don't interfere with each other. So maybe that's better. I think I'll keep it the same way that it is now. I think Alexei has his rotated 90 degrees. But you know, these entrances are all put together as well. But like if I wanted to exit this depot and go in here, it wouldn't be able to. It'd have to go all the way around. I think I'll leave it the way it is. Okay, so half in there and the other half in there, and then we can start making the uranium. Let's make sure it works. All right. Okay. None of the... What happened here? Why didn't you pick up? Okay, I think these can be normal stack inserters coming out. Alright, let me pick up all this uranium. Okay. Yes, I've got a bit of a problem here. It's not... Okay, I think I know what I need to do. Okay. So the uranium-238 will come out on this side, and it'll get pulled in just after, and then this side will only be for uranium-235. That should work then. Let me clear that belt again. Why isn't this thing working? I don't get it. It's because the 238 can't get out, so it doesn't want to pick anything up. So so it's not going to work if this belt is backed up. All right, so we need to go into storage. So let's set that up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the ratio is 13:1, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 16, 32 to 3. That's about 13:1. Well, let's just do actually 13:1. 1, 2, 3. That's 12. 13 and 1. We'll do one extra. Okay. Okay. Now I think it's going to work. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing left out there. All right, now we got to wire all these chests together. And that needs to be moved. And so does that, because I'm going to need to come out of the chests over on this side, right? Let's go ahead and even this up. Okay, so now I can see what I have in there. And I'm going to take the 238, divide it by the 235, and I'm going to output that as R. That is my ratio. I want a ratio of 13 to 1. Okay. So I'll send that down the green wire. And I think I'll also send the inventory down the green wire. Or we'll send it down the red wire. Okay. So the R signal is on green, and then my inventory signals are on red. Okay, and so we're going to enable this when R is less than or equal, or no, I'm sorry, greater than, let's just say greater than, well, let's say greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to 13. Okay, so that way we'll only do kovorix enrichment if I have more than a 13 to 1 ratio of 238 to 235. If I keep consuming 238 to make more 235 beyond that ratio, then I run the risk of running out of uranium 238, which is the dull green. Right, so that way we'll always make enough. And the 13 to 1 ratio, you may recall, is precisely what is needed to make nuclear fuel cells and reprocess spent nuclear fuel cells and continue to make them over and over again. Okay, and then the other thing I want to monitor for is if my inventory is getting full. So if my inventory gets full or is close to full, then I want to stop the uranium processing, right? I want to stop mining and processing more of the uranium ore itself. So what would that be? Well, what's 13 chests? One chest is 4.8K. So 13 times 4.8 equals 62.4. Okay. So then we want the red wire to go to these inserters. And these are enabled if uranium-238 is less than 62,400. Right, so as long as we have room in our chests, we'll continue to process the uranium. And if we start to run out, then we don't. If we start to run out of space, I mean. And that'll leave us with one empty chest still available to put in, you know, whatever stray pieces happen to come down the belt. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good so far. What's our ratio now? All right, and then I'm going to turn this on as long as R is greater than or equal to 13, and we'll use colors. Okay, so that way we can visually take a look and be able to see whether it's running or not. And if we really wanted to get fancy, which I think we do, want to get fancy. Okay, I'm going to need a lot of light bulbs. I don't think I want that one, do I? Yeah, maybe we do. No, I'm not going to need 4 digits, really. Okay. How many lights am I missing? 90. Can I craft 90 lights? No, I cannot. All right, let's go refill on lights. And we'll set up a digital display to show us what our ratio is. All right, it'll be kind of like this. Uh-oh. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. I saw that it wasn't at 0 and the rockets were launching, but it inserts the satellite when it gets to 0. So that's fine. 3,500 rockets launched so far. Pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. Thanks to help from all of you. Got a lot of good suggestions and comments and questions from all of you as I, when I built the 2500 science per minute version of the base. And that help that you gave me is definitely going to carry through on this series too. So thanks a lot for all the good comments and suggestions. Really appreciate that. My RoboPort range is huge. Okay. Current ratio is 180. 181. And it'll continue to grow until I get enough uranium filled in here. We're almost there. As soon as I get to 80 uranium in there, then the extra one that it makes will start to come out and get put into the chest, and then that ratio will start to go down. We're nearly there. In fact, I could help it along. Okay, now it's got 80. This should end up with 80. 84, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now you got 80. Oh, you know what I did before? I changed the stack size to 5. On the output, actually we can make it 10. That'll make it more likely that that 1 passes by. There we go. Okay, I think we lost a bunch there. All right, now it should stay at 80. Yeah, there we go. And you could see that 2 went by that time. I think that's because we got the productivity bonus. Whoops. I didn't want to do that. Whenever you get the productivity bonus, you get 1 extra piece of uranium. Not 41 extra, as you might hope. All right, so now the ratio's going to start to drop a lot more quickly. Okay, and I think we can eliminate this this 3rd digit as well. Okay. So we got that part done. The next part will be making the actual fuel cells, and for that we're going to need the iron. Which is coming from here. So let's see, how do we want to do this? Whoops. I think just like this. Let's bring that belt up here. Actually, let's try to keep it somewhat balanced. There we go. And then for this type of situation where I'm not balancing my inputs and outputs, I'm gonna bring the inventory down to 0 before I request another train. That way I don't get unbalanced on the supply side. Okay. Whoops. So we'll have iron up there. We still need to start making the iron so we can provide it, so that part's going to have to wait. And then up here on this top part, we will bring in the spent cells, and we'll need to set up 21 centrifuges to process those. So we'll work on that the next time. But here, actually, we can set up. I think we can set up the actual fuel cell production now. Okay, and for that, we're going to have one machine. Okay, iron plate plus uranium. All right, and then the uranium will come out here. I need to get these on differing sides of the belt. And I didn't really leave myself room to do that, did I? Let's see. How do we want to do that? Whoops. All right. I'm going to have to move my display over by one tile. So left side of the belt is the 235, right? I need to move it over one more tile. All right, I'm gonna, well, either way. Jeez. All right. One more tile. All right. There. I'll just do it like that. So we're switching sides, but it doesn't matter. Why is it blinking like that? I don't like that. I guess it's just changing too quickly. Yeah, maybe that's not such a good idea. I wonder what that's doing to my UPS. Oh, maybe it's because it doesn't know what to count. Oh, yeah. I hooked up to the wrong one. That's why. I'm going to hook up from there. There we go. Okay, yeah, now it's only getting a single number. All right. All right, so there's iron plate. There's uranium. Actually, I might need a stack inserter there to feed that fast enough. Okay, and that'll be the result coming out. Let's give this some plate to work with. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. And then I'm also going to need to make... I need to figure out where to do the fueling. All right, that just killed our ratio. I'm going to need to do... Let's get rid of this display. This isn't helping me. I'm also going to need to do nuclear fuel, which also uses the uranium. And what does that take? That takes rocket fuel. And it's going to be a while before I'm making rocket fuel over here. So I think what I might have to do until I'm making rocket fuel over there is load a train with rocket fuel and bring it over to this part of the grid. So that I can fuel the trains over here until I'm self-sufficient. Alright. So I'm still working on this. So let's add another task. Rocket fuel supply for train fuel. And let's bump this up. I'll need to do that before I finish. Whoops. Before I finish my fuel production. Okay, that means I'm going to need an additional input station. Actually, maybe I can use this for rocket fuel. Or this one. We'll use this for rocket fuel. Because I honestly don't think that I am going to need any more uranium than what I already have here. I think what I've got here is probably going to last me the entire game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So here I'll bring in rocket fuel. And that's all I need, right? Just uranium and rocket fuel. Yeah, so I can make that here. I'll have to move this. That'll give me room to get the rocket fuel out. Actually, let's... I don't like this. There. Okay. So that's the iron. And this will be the rocket fuel for the trains. All right, so how much of the train fuel do I need to make? Well, I've got... One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. That seems to be more than enough. All right, well, we'll figure that out in the next episode. I've already kind of run long. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.